It's our fair part show. It's our fair part show. It's our fair part show. It's our fair part show.
Yes, it is. Hello, this is the Off Air Podcast. If this is your first time listening, this isn't like the regular show. This is just, well, it's in the title. This is just the Off Air Podcast. We just sort of chop it up, mostly talk about gabagool and that sort of thing, really.
Yep.
Usually ends up talking about movies.
Yeah, yep. And I believe we are talking about movies in today's episode because you saw one, Belle.
Yes.
We I don't know if we've actually said that yet, but we've got some interviews coming up with the cast of 28 Years Later.
Mm-hmm.
Very exciting.
Which you would have heard us raving about probably a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, when the trailer first...
I reckon even earlier. I reckon it was like the start of the year because I was watching them like at the start. Yeah, I reckon it was like Jan.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we were playing the trailer back when we could play music and that sort of thing on the pod. But, yeah, so I think you'll be hearing those interviews next week, but we're recording them... No, when are we? When?
Drive.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So in 3 weeks.
You'll probably just forget it. We'll do them, and then in like a month you'll hear them.
Yeah.
But it will be when the movie's out and the hype is real, and here we are with our lovely interviews.
Yeah, and so because Ben and I are a big fan of the franchise, we said, like, you should probably watch... Like, they're not linked, but, you know, you should do your homework. If you're gonna
Totally.
do the interview,
No.
you should watch the other two.
Absolutely.
And they're actually sick movies. So, but you watched the first one?
Yeah, no, I if we're going to do this interview, I was like, well, I need to know, who I'm talking to and what about. So with the new one coming out, I haven't seen the first or second. Never even heard of it before you guys were talking about it.
Iconic zombie movies.
Yeah. But then everyone I've spoken to, everyone's like, never heard of that.
Really?
And I was like,
It's such
maybe
a-
it's just the boys. I don't
No,
know.
it's such a thing, like, especially like Blockbuster, Video Easy, whatever your choice was. Definitely the second one.
Was it bigger in Adelaide?
Mate, I don't. Literally, everyone's like, I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
don't know.
The
I just
first
like...
or the second, and I'm like, well, there's a third now. They're like, oh, okay.
Well, I stand by them enough that if someone hasn't seen them or even heard of them, if you like zombie movies, watch them because they're some of the best.
I think, yeah, if not the best. I mean, I Am Legend is good.
Yep.
I Am Legend is very good.
I do like Brad Pitt's...
yeah, that's actually good.
Is it World War Z?
Yeah, that's actually sick as well, when they're all running up the wall.
Yes.
Yeah, there is some good zombie movies out there. But, yeah, 28 days and weeks and now years. Hopefully, years is really good as well. If it's not, we'll still say it's great because we're doing the interview, obviously.
Absolutely.
But
Yes,
we do get to see it early, which is cool.
So, Belle, what did you think?
It was great.
You liked it?
Sure.
Oh, God.
Why?
Hey, opens up with animal abuse. Love that. Next rolls on to...
It's chimpanzees, because that's how the outbreak
Rage.
starts.
It's rage.
Rage.
rage. I'm in rage. Yeah, no, look, it was good. It's a bit slow, like not a lot. In fact, nothing happened.
Dude, you're such a...
But it's my type of film in that it wasn't zombies. I thought it was going to be like zombies, and I was like, oh, it's not my cup of tea. But I do love I Am Legend, and this was pretty much exactly like that.
This was the first
This is the
movie to
blueprint.
do fast zombies.
Yeah, where it starts from after it's happened. So that was that, and I love like where they wake up and they don't know what's happened, and I like that type of storyline. So I really enjoyed that. And I like the lack of music in it. I love films that don't overdo it with music. So even when there's something heinous happening or a really suspenseful scene, there's not heaps of...
Well, this is sounding positive.
You should say that's a great question for one of the people. I can't probably
Danny
embargoed.
Boyle.
We can say that.
Oh, what?
I know his name, but
Oh, we're not allowed to say what?
Well, I
Why
don't know.
couldn't we? We just said we're having an interview with
you
him.
wouldn't say who though.
Does it matter who?
I don't know. That's the question I'm asking. Can we say who?
No, we.
I think it's
that's
like
not
it's like-
embargoed who we're interviewing.
It's
Yeah.
not.
No, it's just
No?
Danny Boyle. He
That's
created
never-
it. He also did Train Spotting. And then there's also
Oh, he did Train Spotting.
yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, yeah, no, there's just from watching the first one, yeah, I do have questions already, but there's more about the franchise. But once I watch the second and then the third, yeah, I'll be fully ready to go. But no, it was really good. I just I took an intermission.
Do you think it's
And I
sick
was
when he
just
comes
like-
back at the end?
Oh, at the end.
Comes to save them.
Wait, what?
When Cillian Murphy comes back to save the girls.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you watched the movie.
No, I did. No. Yeah, he
Dude, that's
comes
like the
back,
main thing.
And she thought that he was infected.
Did you fall asleep?
No, Christian fell asleep. But
Well, I mean, that's like the main bit, right? Like okay.
Yeah, I knew that was obvious that he was going to do that, wasn't it? Like he was going to.
I can't tell. Do you like the movie or not?
It was just, it finished and I was like, oh, I thought it was like just getting to the point where something was happening. But yeah.
You said it was slow though.
Yeah, it was. I was like, oh, okay, now we're getting into it. And then it finished and I was like, oh. And it also is one of those endings where I was like, well, I didn't get any answers here. So I felt
What
a bit blue
answers did you
balls.
need?
Like there wasn't an actual conclusion.
What do you
Of course
mean?
there was.
Not really.
I saw the jets were scrambled out.
Yeah. But then it's one of those movies that end where you're like,
That's the whole point. There's that
There's
glimmer of
hope.
hope.
There's
There's
hope.
hope at the end.
Yeah.
it makes me so frustrated.
It's like the perfect ending.
What do you mean? It's like they've gone through all of that and then there's a jet.
like it's cool. They've
Nature's
been
healing.
saved. Yeah.
right. Yeah, but are they safe?
Well, that's
we
just
don't know
assumed,
that.
right? He obviously.
It's like the ending of Inception. You're like, well, what am I doing
no,
now?
but the jet, they had the sign out. They were
Yeah.
clocked, so they were safe.
Were they clocked?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's
man.
the next one?
You just
Yeah,
watch
What's the next one?
What's the next one?
No, but hey, it was more in my wheelhouse than I expected it to be.
Okay.
So I enjoyed
I think
that.
I'm trying to work you out because you don't like dialogue heavy things.
Yeah.
I think you just need like flat out action like the whole time.
Yeah, I do. And this was like there was
You
some,
love
and then
the
it would finish.
Avengers.
No, I don't like that shit.
yeah. Bell's.
No, I
Belle-
like realistic
She's a
stuff.
big Marvel.
No. That's why I enjoyed this because it wasn't like walking zombies. It was semi-realistic in that it was just infected people.
Sad when Brendan Gleeson gets the blood in his eye.
Oh, that's the dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Oh, but you know what's beautiful is when he's like...
Isn't
He's
that
got
the
that 20 seconds where he's like, stay away from me, I love you. That's
Isn't that the second
Yeah.
one?
That's the first one.
No, the one with the dad and the kids.
The dad and their daughter is the first one.
The dad, Ben's right. The dad and the kids is in the second
Second
movie,
one, right,
but
sorry.
there is also. Remember, they go up to the apartment and it's the dad
and he's walking around the base and then
Yeah.
he looks up and the blood in the eye. So,
and it gets in his eye, and
That is
then
sad.
yeah,
That is sad.
Yeah, and then it turns out all the soldiers are there just to
Yep.
yeah,
assault
that's
the women. How
real
about
bad, real bad.
that? So yeah.
And he was
it
Doctor Who, the main guy, Christopher Eccleston,
Oh, the main
redhead
army
soldier.
guy.
the guy with the shaved. Yeah, he has like bleach blonde hair, I think, and it's got like a shaved head, big ears.
The redhead. Yeah?
He's like the main
The
one.
main soldier.
Yeah, the main.
He was Doctor Who?
Yep.
That's
When they brought
random.
it back,
Isn't it like
in, like-
satisfying though when all the zombies like rush the house and you're like, oh, they're all getting effed up? Like it's satisfying.
and then there's that score like that down,
Yeah.
down, 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 down.
And like Liam said, Cillian Murphy comes back, saves them.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
Belle,
It's a satisfying.
You know what?
scene.
You just watch. If you were unsure, the first scene of the second movie probably the best of the franchise.
okay, that's good.
So that will get you in early.
Even though I told you about like word for word what happens.
Yeah, at least
probably
you
forgot.
know exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot.
Okay,
dude,
I won't-
that's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No. So I'm 1/3 of the way ready for the interview. So that's exciting.
Mhm.
Imagine if you like tried to tell Danny Boyle that you didn't like his filmmaking. You're like,
To be
yeah,
honest-
what
to
I
be
found
honest,
is it's just like what happened? It's just slow. Like it's just not that
He's
good.
doing a junket. He might sit there and go, "Here's a bit of difference."
Well, what I was going to say is, it's a super like nerdy question, and maybe we'll cut it out. But I feel like as a director, he would like that opinion of the fact that he left music out of it to build suspense.
Yeah.
It's probably intentional.
Yeah. No, I really like movies that
But
do
did you
that.
see that's filmed sort of on like cheaper cameras as well, like that?
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. Christian was like, he goes, why is the footage so shit? And I was like,
Yeah,
I think
it's
I
like
read
a
something about the new one was partly filmed on the iPhone
no,
or something.
the whole
Oh, the whole thing.
new movies.
So then I was like, maybe this one was filmed
I think-
purposely on something else.
also,
and he was like,
I think
ugh.
it was like
And he's
yeah,
from the 80s. So I was like, wow, for you to say this is
Yeah.
crap, that's incredible. But yeah, no, I also liked that. And I like the whole handheld and like all that kind of stuff. That's why I like Cloverfield because it can make people feel sick or you can watch it and be like, woo, we're in
Did you
it.
ever see 10 Cloverfield Lane?
No.
Yeah, great movie.
It's also good. I've only seen that once, but John Goodman in it.
Yeah.
He's so scary.
And it's linked into Cloverfield.
Yep.
And there's a third one.
Yeah,
Cloverfield Lane is in the bunker.
it's more like it's more the Cloverfield Lane is more like a thriller
yeah,
sort of like
Cloverfield is when the
Aliens
invasion
come.
happens,
Yeah.
and it's all done on a handheld camera.
yeah
And then Cloverfield
Lane.
Lane is in the bunker, and then there's another one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I also watched Ricky Stenicki.
Yeah,
Not great.
it's not the best, but it's cool. It's cool in the sense that you're like, oh, that's in Melbourne.
Yeah,
oh,
well,
that's in Melbourne.
That's why we watched it, and then we got to the point where I was like, I'm just going to fast forward. until
They
we
go to
see
a
the bits.
gig at the Forum Theatre.
I wondered if that was at the Forum because
I always
looked at
say
and
it
I was-
weird, but yeah,
the
the Forum.
I was like, oh, that looks like the Forum, but then I was like, nah, they wouldn't have.
There's
filmed
also the bar they're in. That's the Royston in,
yes,
in
and
Richmond.
they do an outside shot of the Royston.
Yep.
And Christian and I love the Royston, and he was like, there it is.
I've actually
And I
never
was like,
been inside it.
Oh, really? Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. It's one of those bars where the bar is in the middle. It's like an island. So everyone sits around it, and then you've got the pool table in a separate room, and then the dining area is gorgeous.
Yeah,
And it
nice.
used to be a strip club. That's why the windows are small and so high up, so people couldn't see in.
Interesting.
And so, yeah, it was like where all these like big like gangs used to meet up and shit
yeah, okay.
in the 90s. And then it got bought and then made into the bar.
Wow. Definitely.
I love the history of old pubs.
Yeah,
like-
it's definitely. It's got a
I
bit. Well,
love it.
they've reopened the Rising Sun, the Riser.
Yes.
Speaking of Richmond pubs.
Yes, they got a new paint job. Looks beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know. I sort of enjoyed the old piss stained carpet myself. Like it's sort of. So some pubs you don't want to, the gentrification. You can't,
Yeah.
come on, man, leave it. Like just they had the plastic ponies, like the fake dogs. That you'd like that because there's
Yeah.
no real dogs racing.
Yeah.
Of course, they have the TV next to
Yeah,
it with the real
do,
ones as well.
yes. And the horses and
But
everything.
the cartoon dogs can run all day long.
Hang on, so you can bet on cartoon dogs?
Yeah, like basically like a Keno screen. You know?
Oh, right.
You know what I
And you
mean?
just don't know what's going to win, and you just
You
bet.
just don't know and you bet, yeah. But if it's a cartoon, you'd be like, surely if there's only one person that's bet on this, well, like
They can rig it.
they just rig it to whatever's going to pay out the least, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know how it works, but
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was good. It was nice seeing like because that house they filmed it in like Canterbury, so looking at that and yeah, it was good.
yeah, Ricky's big movie weekend.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
it was raining all weekend, and we just wanted to have a chill one. So,
Yeah, no, I feel that.
well, I want to hear about your weekend because I can hear you're a bit congested and a
You
bit
do,
blocked up.
you do sound
And
a
I
bit
think
sick.
Yeah.
someone had a big one.
I had a big one, yeah, but like a big fair, like a big wholesome one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Not a back shed.
No, it's just at my parents' house.
No shed action.
No shit action.
No, what was it? Level 700 snus or whatever it was.
No snus. But yeah, no, sometimes I know that sounds weird, just just at my parents' house, but sometimes it's actually a bigger night than I would with my friends.
Do you sleep there?
Yeah. And then I didn't really see them until the Sunday, so yeah, last night was a big night for me. But
Oh, wow.
today is like a public holiday for most people,
Yeah.
Is that because like
so I'm sort of treating it as such. I'm like, there's only 2 states that are on, so I'm only using 2% of my.
mate, I'm watching the
Energy.
footy in front of me, so yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got
It's been a
Brizzy.
slow day here. Even the tone of our voice is a bit slower. I think.
Yeah, we got Brizzy and Perth doesn't count because they're so far away they can't call up live. So
Yeah.
we got Brizzy tonight,
which
we love Brizzies. They got some.
Yeah.
In fact, they got the best calls.
Yeah.
But it does
It's a
makes the
slower
target
day.
makes the target smaller to hit.
Yeah.
and also like no one is here.
Yeah.
No one's in the
Even
building.
driving in, I was like, the roads were
Mm.
empty. It was great.
Well, shout out to Fishbowl for still being open. There's a lot
Mm.
of even the sushi place down the road there isn't open, but had some quality fishbowl, which is decent. But yeah, no, I had a cracking weekend. Friends and family, surprise party went down well. I was talking about how cool our present was that we bought our sister-in-law. There's this new Monado Zoo retreat, and she likes like,
yeah.
animals and that sort of thing. We're like, oh, that's such a great idea.
Yep.
So much so that we were the third person who
Oh.
bought her that same thing for her 30th. I go,
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were the third people because it's just opened. You were the third people ever.
no,
to purchase
no.
it.
She was like, oh my god, thank you so
wow.
much. And then like, yeah,
So what's she going to do?
Surely she could use all of them though to
Yeah,
get like
just
the
a-
deluxe room or something.
yeah, I think that's what they're gonna do.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's like you gave her like a money voucher. that she
yeah.
could-
It was like
yeah,
you
yeah,
just spend it at Monado. Sort of thing.
Nice.
Yeah. But it looks decent.
Speaking of good gifts, I went truffle picking over the weekend.
Oh, how'd that go?
wasn't
Yeah.
a gift. That was just something we wanted to do.
Speaking of gifts.
Great date day suggestion. Like if you ever like, what can I do if you're in Victoria? They might do it in other states, but if you're in Victoria, definitely recommend doing it. It's one of those things you would never think to do. Then when you do it, it's just a lot of fun.
So what do you do? Like,
So it's 2 hours.
yeah,
3 if you count the lunch or brunch.
with
So-
lots
Wow.
of truffle.
With lots of truffle. So you get there at 9. It's really cute. It's like a little wood fire cottage, and then the lady who runs the farm, she's in there. She talks you through.
Was it the lady who texted you last week and said, "Hey Ben, what is your clothing size? Do not reply."
You know, she said, "Any dietaries, let me know." And then in all caps, "Do not reply." So very
You're
confusing.
sending mixed messages here, Michelle.
So you start off in like a little wood fire cabin,
Yeah.
which is nice because it's winter. It's very cold.
Yeah.
That's truffle season, winter. And then they talk you through the history of truffles and how they grow. Turns out they are a mushroom, a fungi, and they grow underground. So they're like they grow on the roots of trees. So that's what they are.
That's why they're not an above ground mushroom.
Yep.
They're an
Yep.
underground.
And so you have to dig to find them. And that's why they use dogs. So you can use any breed. There's no special dog for it. You can use any dog because they've got better noses than we do, so they can smell them. And then you go out and you go truffle hunting, and you don't do the work, but the hunter, you follow behind the hunter. She and the dog find the truffles, and then they dig them up. They find the spot, and then you get to dig them up.
Ah, so you don't get to be like, there's one.
Well, no, the dog does that.
Oh.
Yeah, the dog does that.
So you're just there to you're basically there for free labour where you can just dig them up.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, it's all part of the experience.
And what
then,
you get to do, we find it, and you get to dig for
well,
it.
you dig up the truffles, right, and then you put them in like a little basket, and then they smell amazing. They're so yummy. And then you take the truffles to the restaurant down the road, and then they cook the truffles you found into your meal.
That's unreal.
Yeah, it's a great
don't
date.
you-
Great date day.
You know what you got to do now? You got to watch Pig, the Nicolas Cage movie where he's a truffle hunter.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but they don't use pigs anymore because
They were eating the truffle.
well, they're very vicious and they're fiends for truffle. So they've got the best noses out of it. They're better than dogs at it. They
Yeah.
can find them better than dogs.
That's because they want
But
it.
you can't get between a pig and a truffle. And that's why they said if you ever meet someone who uses pigs when they go truffle farming, they're missing fingers because the pigs get it before they do and they try and pull it off them and they lose fingers. So it's big in
bless
Europe.
'em.
So they got like no fingers at the truffle farmers.
Gee whiz.
Yeah.
I mean,
And they told a story which I thought was definitely worth sharing. So they have 3 different types of truffle. They're all black truffle. But you might have heard of white truffle before. So that's the rarest. So
Yeah, right.
that only grows in Europe in the wild, particularly in Italy, but they can't farm it. They cannot get it to grow anywhere else in the world except for where it grows wildly. They don't know why. And so they've tried and they've tried and they've tried. Apparently Gina Reinhardt here in Australia
She wanted to get her fingers on it.
inoculated 10,000 trees, spent millions of dollars to try and get one white truffle
Yeah.
because no one can do it.
And it didn't work.
Not yet. It takes about 10 years for them to actually mature.
Bloody
But
hell.
they told a story because they reckon white truffle is about $10,000 a kilo. And when they said that, a couple of people in the group were like, "Oh, that's crazy. Who's buying that?" And they said, "Well, actually, we had a
Gina.
guy in here last week. He had photos to prove it. Over in Europe, he bought 5 kilos of white truffles, and you have to eat them in 10 days. So he bought 5 kilos of white truffles, so 50 grand, because it was a 50th birthday present. So it was a present to himself.
Oh.
Yeah, and he took
What?
he took this 5 kilo bag of truffles to every restaurant they ate at overseas and gave it to the chef and said, "Put as much of this in my food as you can," and just kept doing it until it was all gone.
Wouldn't the chef just be like, cool, I'll give you 3 and I'll take the rest?
Don't know how it was working,
Bloody
but
That's
hell.
insane.
he had
eh?
photos at like each restaurant with all his meals, had the
Happy
bag of
birthday
truffles.
to me.
But
50
how
grand.
much truffle do you put, like, say, even with your picking on the weekend,
Mm.
how much, how many did you have at
We-
the end? But
the-
also, how much do you eat? You don't eat a lot. I thought you just eat a tiny amount.
Yeah, the total farm, so the total hunt was about 6 truffles
Uh-huh.
in varying sizes, and it weighed total was about 230 grams.
Uh-huh.
And then we took that to the restaurant, and then they just sprinkle it all over the food.
And you have about that much then.
Well, you wouldn't be having 200 grams. You'd probably be having like 30, 40 grams,
So then they just keep the rest.
I guess.
So
yeah.
old mate with 5 kilos, like, you can't eat that much.
He must have just been smashing it.
No!
He must have been smashing it.
No, the chefs were just bagging it all.
I don't know.
Wow.
Crazy story.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, yeah, no, I feel like there was, yes. Has anyone looked through the pod squad?
I don't think there's much activity over the weekend.
No, everyone was a bit busy, I think.
I
Long
I
weekend,
feel like
you know.
because it's long weekend, yeah, I agree. People just aren't in Monday mode.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
They're in Sunday mode.
absolutely not. Everyone's just chilling. And that's fine. That's
So wait,
okay.
do you have a cold?
Nah,
You just, yeah, okay. Just,
on the beers,
are
mate.
you hungover?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah. Flying's always fun when you're just a bit like.
And then did you, because you were late today, which is fine,
Mm-hmm.
did you park in the
Long-term car park.
cheap one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the one you got the shuttle
Nice.
bus to.
Ben calls it the Belle one.
Yeah, did you park
I
in the
park
Bell
in
one?
Terminal 4, excuse you.
Oh, you do? Long term?
Whichever one is the weekend one. I don't know what that is.
The one where it's like a 1 to 4 minute walk from the terminal
Yes.
over the weekend and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like,
And you parked in the cheap one?
Yeah, we always park at that one.
Why? Then you have to get a bus to the terminal?
Yeah, you get, yeah.
Oh.
That's why I was late for work. That's why I was late. Because, dude, I landed...
You
so,
save like $40.
Yeah, it's like
I don't book it.
I just get scared about leaving my car out in the open. I don't know what's
There's
the
like
insurance
security
like
guards
with
and
that.
stuff.
Yeah,
I get scared about the dehydration it takes to get from the long term to the terminal. You know,
it's
what's going to happen?
It's another bloody holiday.
Now, look,
getting the shuttle bucket.
obviously, I'm a big fan of Jetstar and all the work they do, especially recently with their 21st birthday.
Mm.
And, Jetstar Nights of the Skies. Obviously,
Knights of the Skies?
Nights of the Skies, yeah.
Very
yeah,
cute.
yeah, because it harkens back to medieval times where when you were 21, you were eligible for knighthood, yeah. People may have caught that across the Jetstar socials.
Yes, I still don't understand the link between Jetstar and
I
Knights,
I
but
literally just gave it to you.
Well, they turned 21.
They turned
Yeah,
21,
yeah.
harkens
And-
I
back.
think someone that works at Jetstar is really into laughing in the marketing team, and they were like, "Finally, I can link laughing and nights to my job."
But look, it took a while because I was in the very last terminal when we flew in, and we got on the plane a bit late, and I had to put my bag like in the middle, and we were sitting at the very back,
Oh yeah.
and so people were slowly exiting, but this is the first time ever I've been literally the last person off the plane because I was like, we just have to sit and wait because I couldn't fight against the crowd. So that took a little while. Then we had to. It's a fair trek on that last terminal to the bus because the bus is like just the very other end.
God.
And then missed the first bus because it was too full. We were like at the front of the line and missed it. So then I had to wait like for the next one, which is like another 10 minutes. Then got on that, and it's a
you should have got the Sky Bus at this point back to here.
Yeah, I know. So it was a bit of a fluff around. So I was 26 minutes late.
That's
Speaking
all right.
of planes, my dad told me a story, and I'd totally forgotten about it like last week because they're flying over to help us drive the car back to Adelaide. And they don't ever fly really. Like, they've been overseas and stuff a bit, but they haven't flown in years. And I was talking to Dad, and I was like, how'd you go booking the flights? He's like, yeah, all good. He sounded a little bit annoyed about it. And I was like, I don't think I said how much does it cost, but I was like, the price of it came up. And he said, it was $160 each, which is pretty good. But he said, then they stung me $65 for my seat. And I said, you must have done preferred seating at the very, very front.
Yeah.
Oh no!
And he was like, it was front row. And I was like, so because you picked the front row, they've charged you $65 per person. It might even be Economy X, like it might be the upgraded one.
because he didn't know he was doing that.
He didn't know you could scroll down halfway and get the free
shit.
seats.
Yeah.
And then he went, it doesn't matter anyway. I went on and changed the seats to the back row. And I was like, why would you do that? And he said, well, me and your mother want to sit at the back. I was like,
So he paid?
You paid $65 per person, so $130.
So you could sit next to the shitter.
To sit in the front row.
To then move
to
it
then
to the free
move
ones.
it to the free ones
I
at the
wonder
back.
how many older people do that though.
I don't know.
Oh no!
I don't know.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a real wow, that's stressful.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they
poor
got him.
guy.
Richard Branson got him.
Oh.
But I guess that's it for this pod.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, unless there's anything else to flag. But look,
I'd just like to flag that the red and blue flag just got another goal, so it's all good.
Oh, Belle's watching the Melbourne.
Yeah.
Collingwood?
Melbourne Collingwood.
Yeah.
some game on Friday. Am I right? The Crom.
Ah,
Somebody game.
Also, Port got their first win for a month.
Yes, watched that. Very, very cute.
Thank
very
you.
nice.
Who'd they
Very,
play?
very nice.
GWS.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was a good game. GWS at home.
Yeah, right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, in Canberra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is GWS. Weirdly, they've got.
Right.
So that's their home ground.
Right.
It's
yeah,
like
'cause it
Tassie
was-
plays. It's like North Melbourne plays in
Yeah.
Tassie.
Well, North Melbourne played in frickin'
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
Bunbury.
Bunbury.
Yeah. In
And it was,
I
but it
was-
was their home game.
in
but they
WA.
were
So confusing.
but then they're playing West Coast.
I
But
was-
I was like,
And I was so cocky because I said to Sam, because normally if you didn't know this when you're watching the AFL, the team on the left on the,
The
score,
first team, yeah.
the first team is the home side. Pretty simple, right? And North Melbourne were playing, and they were on the left. So I was like, it was a small oval.
I was wondering where that was.
must
I
be
saw that
Tassie.
as well, yeah.
And then Sam was like, no, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how she knew, but she was like, no, I think it's in WA. And I was like, no, it's North Melbourne home
No,
game.
babe, I
It's
think-
not going to be in WA. Anyway, I was wrong.
It also
Hey.
it had like Tasmanian something Tasmanian on the billboard.
Strange.
Like on the like the signage. There was like some.
So you've got a Melbourne team playing a home game in WA against a WA team, but it's not their home game with a Tasmania.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I know it's happened before, with like when Port played in China, and then that's their home game, it means they lose a home.
Sorry, what?
They did that for like 4 years.
They were trying to get footy to take off in China, and so Port played a home game every year in China.
And it always looked real smoggy.
Yes, the players complained
When
about
was
the smog.
this?
They did it like
a fair
before
bit.
COVID.
Yeah, before
obviously.
pre-COVID, and then COVID it stopped. So like 2017 through to 2020.
It felt like a bit of a
Experiment.
poshy initiative.
Yep.
Huh.
But
Wow.
anyway, because something to do with money, Port wanted the overseas game to not be a home game, so they had to pay. So let's say it's West Coast, they would pay West Coast a big amount of money, and then West Coast would take it as their home game. So even though it wasn't a home game, they would get money and they'd play it as a
So
home
Bunbury
game.
could have paid North Melbourne
Potentially,
a lot of money.
no. West Coast would have paid North Melbourne money to play a home game in West Coast.
Right.
So
right.
weird.
It's weird,
Yeah.
doesn't
So
it?
weird.
Well, yeah. Oh.
Anyway,
Good stuff, guys.
all right,
Cool.
bye.
And that's it!
Liked that podcast? There's heaps more to listen to if you just scroll back or download the Nova Player app.
Ben, Liam, and Belle.